been a minute.
It has.
So you haven't missed any workouts. I know
No.
that. So you're. I didn't get a chance to go to your Ranger Fit panel, and that's Sunday.
It is Sunday. I think on the schedule, I might be doing one Saturday, apparently.
Mm.
I'm kind of confused because one of the papers they gave me, the ink ran out halfway through the paper, so I don't know what I'm doing, partially. So someone will get me to tell me to go somewhere. Like, I didn't know I was doing a Forever Red panel today, but I did. So.
Speaking of Forever Red, that is there any news about
Forever Red dose?
Right.
I haven't been given that news. I would like there to be that news,
Right.
but there's still, no one knows for sure what Hasbro's doing after Dino Fury. Are they going to go live action again because they ended, the Toei, connection? Or are they going to renew the contract? Or are they going to go animated? I couldn't tell you.
It's for the news that I have so far is that they have the movie. They're trying to connect the series in which it's I think a multiversal type of situation.
Yeah.
I remember that episode where everybody's coming from different timelines and universes, which is pretty awesome. Any news about a possible?
Not yet. I mean, honestly, I wish I could be Hasbro calls me up for my input, but they don't. I have no idea. I don't know the things. I am in the dark, but it would be cool if they do a bunch of cameos. I know fans want that, and so do some of the actors. So if they wanted a cameo of Dino Charge, I would totally be down. But alas, at this point, I cannot confirm anything.
Nipping at all news outlets.
Yeah.
As far as fitness is concerned, are you planning on doing any fitness conventions or pop-ups or anything?
I've gone to some of the fitness conventions that bodybuilders and people go to. Yeah, I haven't been with a booth at those, but I go to them just because they're fun. And happens when you do handstands on their stuff a lot, they end up giving you free stuff. So I just go around all the fitness stuff and do handstands, and then I end up getting a bunch of free products because they, can we post that or tag? I was like, yeah, and they just give me things. So so I go for that reason. And it's just fun because the pull-up competitions and meeting other fitness enthusiasts. But I used to kind of partner as an ambassador with the fitness supplement company at one point. So I went with them before to multiple events, so they'd get me in for free, and I'd run the booth and do handstands and flips to get people to come over. So that was fun. But I'm not with them anymore. Now I just like to go.
So what is your fitness background?
So I started off in a youth circus program. Well, it's a community circus program, I should say. So instead of going to soccer practice, you get dropped off at juggling or unicycle or whatever. And so that's where I learned a whole bunch of really weird and not overly useful skills for life, but I really enjoy them and I made them useful. So, and then from there I just I did cross country, I wrestled in high school, I did judo, Krav Maga, and then I rejoined the circus after I graduated high school, and then I fell into stunt work, and now I train people sometimes as a side thing. But yeah, I have a degree in kinesiology, I'm an exercise physiologist, certified strength and conditioning specialist, yoga instructor, so I like fitness. It's a thing. So,
I'm running with the Ranger Fit. I remember you
right?
mentioned that. As far as your career as you're with the martial arts and everything, are there any films in the near future or currently being filmed?
I just wrapped a movie actually that we shot 3 weeks in Vancouver and one here in Atlanta. But it's not a martial arts movie, but it is a film. And I'm excited for it because it's a different kind of character than I've played before. So, and there's some pretty heavy hitters in this movie.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm excited. But I did, not even that you asked, but I did do handstands. Not that it was in the script, but I asked if a scene could be changed for me to do handstands, and they let me. I don't know if it'll be in the final cut, but it should be.
How will we know about the film when it comes out?
So they haven't officially announced it yet, so I can't say it's name or anything yet, but I heard rumor they're going to announce it this fall, hopefully. But I'll be all over posting about it once I get the green light to do so.
Gotcha. Oh, man. So, gotta ask the Power Ranger question.
Yeah,
so, as far as, how did you find out about this role? How did it drop in your lap?
So, I actually told my agent that I was going to quit acting and go back to college literally right before this audition for Power Rangers, and I was working at the San Diego Zoo as an acrobat 7 days a week in a summer contract. And a buddy of mine that I used to go to an acting class with 3 or 4 years prior to that point called me randomly, haven't talked to him literally in that time span. He's like, hey, I had an audition, and next door to my audition was the Power Rangers audition I saw on the door. And I went over and I told him that I have a friend who's this circus guy and that I think you'd be great for the show. So they said they were interested in seeing me. So I was like, well, fine, whatever. I'm quitting, so I'll try one more audition. And then, of course, that's the one I book. And so I went to New Zealand, filmed this, put college on hold, and then I ended up graduating. You know, I did the classes when I got back. I did a couple online while I was over there, actually, too. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as far as you and your castmates, like, what's the most memorable experience or memory while being on set?
I don't know about like a single memory. It's kind of like a collection of memories. Just working on a show that inspired me as a kid. You know, because I've done other projects, but it's not like when I was on iCarly or something that I was like, oh my gosh, iCarly, because I was in the first episode. It wasn't like it was already established as like this hit show. Or, you know, on American Horror Story, again, I was in the first season, so again, it wasn't as big. Like Power Rangers was already an established entity. It was one I was a fan of as a kid. There's pictures of me with like a cosplay ranger at my birthday party, things like I was in it. So now I tell people, like, you know, when I was a kid watching all these episodes all the time, I was just doing research for my future job, and that's what it ended up becoming. It wasn't a waste of time. It was just like, okay, I'm watching this because it's going to be me in the future, and it ended up being me in the future, so it's cool.
Speak it into existence.
Right?
Oh, man. As far as Rangerstop, like, I remember we met up before the first year, and this second go around, how do you feel about the changes and everything?
I mean, obviously with COVID, you know, like, I have a mask somewhere that I already lost.
I saw you.
It's here! You know, but we're far enough away, so whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've done a couple conventions since COVID has been a thing, so, you know, wore the mask. Some of them, you know, I'd take the mask off when it was like, oh, you know, we thought it was going away before Delta. And, you know, I'd hold my breath in between photos, you know, so like, put it back on. And then I did one convention only. It was like right after like vaccinated stuff, and it was in Colorado, and that was before Delta was such a thing. And that was the only one I did without a mask like the whole time. Never got COVID, but it was just like really weird mentally, because like that's like, oh, you're 90-something% safe. Then a month later, like, just kidding, you're not. And I was like, okay, well. But yeah, I mean, you can still smile with your eyes. I mean, like, you know, if you have the mask on, you're like, you know, like, you know, so it helps. Like, I'm still smiling, like, still, because I get like these crinkles in my eyes when I smile. So I'm just, it's the experience. Like, aside from the photo or signing anything, it's being able to just connect with other people. That's such a big deal to me. And I love the energy of being able to like hear from someone how they were inspired by Power Rangers, or just by my fitness stuff or whatever, and then just me being inspired by them, and like some of them tell me like, oh, from hearing your fitness tips, like I've lost this much weight or whatever, or like I started these healthy habits, and it's just like really cool, like to know you can impact someone in a way you never knew, you know? Yeah.
So, as far as your fans, what would you want them to know currently what's going on with you?
Well, I mean, currently, like that movie that I can't talk about, so it's kind of hard to be like, hey guys, watch out for that thing I can't tell you. Like, I don't know. So, really, it's just like, if you want to follow me on social media, I'm pretty active, specifically on Instagram the most. I stream on Twitch, but I've been off for about 2 months ever since that movie. I just haven't had time. So I'm going to probably jump back into streaming on Twitch soon, twitch.tv/Master Mejia, if you guys want to hang out. Play a lot of Nintendo games, some PS5 games. But yeah, and then like obviously acting work is my primary. So when that comes up, then I cut back on everything else, Twitch. And I have a YouTube channel as well, Brennan Mejia, and I have a fitness one called Mejia's Muscles that I post on pretty much weekly on both of those too. So those are other ways people can stay connected. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
You mentioned heavy hitters. Is there anyone in particular you like to work with?
I can't mention who's in the movie yet until.
Yeah, I told me in particular. Just generally.
Oh, that I want to work with.
Want to work with.
Oh, yeah. I would love to work with Denzel Washington. Right? Yeah. I'd like to work with Mark Wahlberg. I'd like to work. I mean, there's so many people I'd like to work with. It's kind of like, let me just go down this list of a whole bunch of famous people. The Rock would be great because again, like into fitness, you know. Same with Mark Wahlberg. And Tom Hanks would be great. I don't know, they're just like, my thing is though, depending on the project, I'm okay working with people who aren't names. Like, I'm not that, like Power Rangers, like, oh, Brennan, you know who he is, kind of. Like, I'm not like, in a Power Ranger convention, people know who I am. But like walking down the street, I get away with it, especially with masks these days, for the most part. I don't even know if I'd want to be so famous that I couldn't walk down the street. So it's this fine line of like, I just love the work, but I don't necessarily want to be in the public eye to that level. Like my Instagram, if you ever watch, like it's not very marketing in the sense of like only super sexy pose. Like I'm sure there are some photos of that from back in the day, but like I just I posted a picture of me and my dog for National Dog Day. Like I just don't care. Like I post what's my life, you know, like, oh, I'm doing a handstand. Oh, I'm doing a handstand again. Like I just kind of keep it real versus what will get me the next job. And I probably some marketing person in my agency is mad at me for it, but like, I don't know. I don't like not being who I am. You know what I mean? I like to be real, and I want people to know that actors are just people who you see on TV. Like, but other than that, we're all human. We all bleed. We all need food to eat. You know, like it's all the same. So.
Authenticity.
Yeah, authenticity.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you like to say to your fans or any shout outs to people?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for just joining me on this journey that we call life, and you know, inspiring me to keep going, because there's been times where I've almost quit acting because like it's really hard. You know, you're on a show and you're working for like 8 months to a year straight, and then like you don't book something for months to a year, and then like to keep that energy is hard. But so many people have like told me to keep going, and like it's really allowed me to believe in myself and have the confidence to not quit. Just again inspiring each other, and you know, like momentum begets momentum, and you know, people saying they're praying for me, and it's just like to know we're not alone is awesome. So thank you guys for helping me continue. Hopefully I can keep inspiring others as well. So.
Woo, thank you
Appreciate
so
you.
much.
Yeah, of course.